Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Anna and this is my new kitchen. Now the air quotes are there very much on purpose because this is not my house, it's my parents' house and their kitchen, and it's not new. The house has been built about 20 years ago and so has the kitchen. But me and my partner and our toddler have moved here a few days ago and we will be living here while we renovate our new apartment. So I will be cooking in this kitchen and it is new to me. Before I do any cooking in here though, I do want to redecorate it a little bit, which by the way, my mom has given me full permission to do, so I'm covered. Now, it's not, terrible. It's a perfectly functional, nice kitchen, but it is a little bit dated in my very immature designer opinion. I think the datedness comes from all of the rounded edges. Like you have all of the cabinet doors, both the uppers and the lowers have these rounded edges to them. There is a rounded edge you can see here and it's up there. There is a rounded edge on the countertop. All of the hardware has rounded edges and it's all the same. The range hood has this, again, rounded shape to it. So I think a lot of this roundedness is just not something that you see in modern kitchens today. Now, I'm not going to be changing any of that. This is all staying as is, the bones. But I do want to bring it a little bit of new life with some decorations and to give it a more of a cohesive vision, a cohesive look to it. So that's what I will be doing in this video. I have brought a lot of things from my old apartment and also I have bought quite a bit of stuff. So I want to unpack that first and then I'll talk a little bit about my inspiration and the vision for this place. So it's all unpacked and I think that this looks like a lot of stuff and it is a lot of stuff. So again, some of this is stuff that I've already had, but I did purchase quite a lot of things. And so I just wanted to say that this video is not in any way meant to make you feel like you need to buy a lot of stuff to make your kitchen look good. It is something that I did because for me, the kitchen is a really, really important space. It's a space where I spend most of my day or a big part of my day in. And so I want it to feel good to me. So this very much is a personal choice on what I want to spend my money on. And the kitchen just makes sense to me. What I really want to show you in this video is my thought process behind all of this. So how did I go about picking the stuff that I picked, buying the stuff that I bought, and why do I think this is going to look good in the kitchen? Again, a lot of that is personal. Maybe somebody will not think that it looks good at all, but it will feel cohesive and calm and hopefully inspiring to me, and it will make sure that I want to spend time in the kitchen. So the very first thing I did before I bought a single thing is I went to Pinterest and I Googled a green beige kitchen. I did that because I knew that the color of the backsplash tile is dark green and the countertops are this terrazzo decor, and the cabinet doors are either wood tone or they are this like cream, I'm sure you can see some of them behind me, this cream white or beige color. And I knew that that was not going to change. And because I wasn't really sure, like there wasn't anything that I had in my mind in particular when it came to how should I go about decorating this, I really wanted some inspiration first. And so I went to Pinterest, I put in those keywords, so the green or dark green, maybe even dark green and beige kitchen, and from all of the pins that came up, I picked a few, which I'm going to put on the screen here, that really spoke to me. And what I really liked were these very earthy looking kitchens. Not something that's necessarily my taste, like I don't want my new kitchen to look like this, but I felt like that was really fitting for the setup that I have to work with. So what I did then, once I found those images, I really studied them in detail. What is it that I'm seeing in this image? What exactly are the colors? What are the decoration pieces that they're using in the space to make it feel and to make it look the way it does? So what I saw was definitely a whole bunch of planters. That's why you see a lot of them here in these earthy colors, like the terracotta and the beige and the moody, the textural ones. Lots of plants. I have a couple here. I have some more fake ones as well. There are some in the kitchen already that I definitely want to reuse. So I saw a lot of that. There was a lot of wood as well. So some cutting boards here, some other wooden pieces that I've picked up. That's things that I really want to incorporate more in this design. So that would be my tip number one for you if you are thinking about redecorating a space in your house. Focus on something that you know is going to stay the same or that you know that you want, whether it's a color palette or a specific piece of furniture maybe, and then see what kind of images speak to you and then study those. Like really analyze the details in those images to see how are they making this work. So with all of that said, I'm going to start working on incorporating all of this into the kitchen behind me, and once I'm done, I will take you on a little tour and give you some more tips along the way.
Slipping out the back door, but it's not what you're made for, and there's nothing that is too late for. Out of the cold into my warm hand, in the sun, it's already begun. you from across the room. When our eyes met, I never knew that I could feel this way, and it's kinda strange. Don't even know your name. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. You say that you're from out of town. I'm hoping that you stick around. Show me what it's like from the other side. Would you stay another night? 'Cause I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I think I've waited all these years for you right here. But how will I ever know if you go? 'Cause I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you. I don't know you, but I want to get to know you. Just wanna get to know you.
Redecorating is done, and I couldn't be happier with the result. I feel like the camera isn't doing it justice, but maybe it does. You tell me in the comments. But when you enter this space, it really feels different than what it was before. It feels so much warmer, cozier, inviting. I just want to be in this space and I want to cook in this space. So it totally fit my purpose of doing this. I feel like I've done a really good job and I'm really proud of the result. And so is my mom, by the way. She was very pleasantly surprised with the look. So I want to take you through a couple of the stations, you could say, and give you my thought process behind the things, hoping that this is going to be the useful part for you, because I will be sharing a lot of the whys and hows behind I made the different decisions and the different why I bought the things I bought and so on. And I'm actually going to start the tips down here because this tray was the very first thing I knew I wanted to get. I had such a clear vision for what I wanted. And it's, I feel like, one of the more useful tips that I have for you. Well, I hope they will all be useful. But anyways, so why the tray in the first place? Trays are great if you have like a little selection of things that are just like a little bit smaller maybe, and they can just get cluttered easily, or they can look cluttered. As soon as you put them on a tray, like these, you know, the honey, the sugars, they will look so much more organized and so much more cohesive. And this tray in particular, I will show you also the detail. I knew that I wanted something dark, so it's going to be a contrast to the countertop, but not too much contrasting. Like for example, a bright white or something. The dark still fits really well with the color of the tiles, and you could see in the detail that there is some warmer veining in the marble, so that just works so well again with like the brown veining in the tiles. So I feel like I have found the perfect match for this kitchen and the color palette in the tray here. I also feel like it's very practical. If you are cleaning the counter, you just move this one tray instead of having to move 3 separate things somewhere. And so it just makes the cleaning easier. And sticking on the theme of trays, I have another one right here. And here I just wanted to mention what's important in general with all of the decorating, but I feel like especially when you're putting the things on trays, is to look at the height and balance the things in height. So you could see that over there with the sugars and everything, but also here that I have things that are different in height. I've got the 2 oils that are more or less the same. They could be more different as well to make it more balanced. And then I've got these 2 little bowls here that are obviously much smaller, and it just creates a visual interest. Whereas if I had 3 things that were all the same height, it would just be very flat and boring. So I always look at the height of items when I am decorating. This whole corner is actually now my favorite part of the kitchen, and it's the one I was the most looking forward to redoing. If you remember from before, there were just a couple empty white pots, like plant pots, which were just too much contrasting with the warmer undertones of the tiles and the countertop and the cabinets and everything. So I really wanted to bring something that was more earthy, more warm, hence things like the wooden cutting boards, what you just saw with the wooden tray and the ceramics. Those bowls were actually there, so I could reuse those because they fit perfectly with the color palette. More of the greens, and I was really excited for that one that I brought over from my old apartment. Something that makes it look very lush and vibrant as well. This one is actually a fake plant, but you just cannot tell. Like, my mom wasn't sure whether she was supposed to water it or not. That's how good it looks in the space. So with the pots, I got an inspiration from the Pinterest images that you saw before. They had a lot of terracotta and just that sort of green, or sorry, not green, brownish, orange-ish colors. So that's why I picked up the terracotta pots, and just in general, a lot of like matte ceramics in darker brownish, greenish shades. So that's what I was focusing on here. While I'm in this corner, I also want to talk about this whole dishwashing area, because I feel like that's what I see in a lot of homes that really stands out to me as the part that's usually really ugly, but also so easy to redo and make it look better. So if you recall, what my mom had there before were these plastic bottles with all these like etiquettes on them, with all the colorful images and all the, writing and everything. And that's where she kept her soap and the dishwashing liquid. It is so easy and so inexpensive to buy something like this, just a clear plastic bottle. Again, I was looking for a color that is going to fit with the more earthy vibes. And you don't even have to have the tray or anything else, just replacing those plastic bottles. Or even, I was thinking that if you peel all this writing off, that would already improve it so much, because maybe the yellow fits into your color palette of the kitchen. Like if you have a plain white kitchen and you have some more colors in there, that could totally work too. And same thing or similar thing goes for replacing things like these sponges or these whatever cleaning towels. If you can find ones that are more in neutral colors that maybe aren't too much more expensive than the brightly neon colored ones that you usually find, or at least that's what I see in the stores here everywhere, that will just work so much better for your kitchen color palette. One other thing I wanted to mention here, there's a lot going on and a lot of thought that went into this. When I bought this tray for holding all of this, it actually came with these two clear glass bottles. They have writing on them. One says hands, one says dishes. And I very much on purpose decided not to use them and use these instead. First thing is, I don't like the signs on them, but you could turn that around and not have it visible. But the other thing was the clear glass just doesn't fit into this aesthetic as much as something that's more colored and like the ceramic one here. But the number one reason why I didn't want to use those is because they were the same. And from the beginning, I knew that I wanted more diversity to, again, keep things more balanced. That's in general when creating this sort of a look that's supposed to look very like collected and warm and cozy. You don't want too many of the same things. So that's why I knew I wanted to introduce two different kinds of bottles to bring in, again, more color, more diversity. That exact same principle of not choosing the same stuff applies here with these utensil containers as well. I specifically chose two of different heights, different materials, and slightly different shapes as well. Before, there were these two metal containers. So again, color palette or the material not fitting with this space. And also a practical thing, they were too short. They were shorter than this one. And that meant that when you put the utensils in it, they were really like sprawled out to the sides, whereas these are so much better contained while you can still reach everything. And my last step while I'm down here is to think out of the box and use things for different purposes than what they were made for. And I have the example of this thing, which, as you can see, I am using that as a utensil container, but it's a vase. I found it somewhere as a vase, but it works so well as a utensil container here. Same thing could be said for pots. You don't necessarily have to put flowers in them. Maybe there is another way to use it. Or what I was showing you before with the dishwashing stuff, one of those containers that I'm using for the soap is actually from the bathroom, but you can totally use it in the kitchen as well. There is actually one more spot I wanted to stop by, and that's this cookbook stand. It's because I feel like in a lot of spaces, like the kitchen, the laundry room, mud room, we consider them to be very utilitarian. And that's also like that shows in the decoration of those spaces, which usually is non-existent. Like so often you will find no hint of art or anything that's there purely for decorative purposes in those spaces, and as a result, that makes them feel very utilitarian. Whereas if you display some sort of art, and it can be as easy and also practical as displaying a cookbook, it just gives it like an elevated, more sophisticated, more pretty vibe to the whole space. So, and again, I on purpose chose a cookbook that I knew had these really pretty drawings in them, and I found a page that had a drawing that fit so well with the color palette. But I am definitely going to use the actual stand as well, because I do often cook from recipes from cookbooks, so it's also a very practical thing for me to have. But when I'm not using it with an actual recipe on it, this is the perfect image that I want to have displayed here. And it's also something that's so easy to change out. Like when the summer is here and I want something more colorful around me, I will find an image in there that's of maybe some summer fruits or something like that. When it's winter, some type of baking, something that will invoke more of the cozy vibes. It's just something that you can use so well to bring out the more artistic feel to the space. So I have the cookbook here because I find it practical as well as pretty, but you could totally have actual art in your space, some sort of a painting or a poster. It's completely fine also to just lean it against the wall if you don't want to drill any holes in the walls. As long as you have the space for it, that works too. So those were all the tips that I have for you. I hope you found them useful and inspirational. I know I'm going to enjoy this space so much more now, but I also know I'm not done decorating. And that's maybe the final thought that I have for you. Don't rush it. Don't try to do everything at once. It was actually pretty challenging for me as well to try and get all the stuff at once and redecorate at once, because usually you need some time to see how things work, how do they fit together, and you just see little stuff that, oh, okay, maybe I could try a different pot here that would work best, and you need time to find the right things. So I know I'm not definitely done, especially that windowsill right there. I'm really looking forward to the spring when I can put some fresh herbs in there and some more, earthy colored pots. And I know that that will, again, make the space look so much better. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and next time I will finally have some cooking content for you here. I will see you then. Bye.